you. Hello, my name's Rose Davidson from doesbiz.com and welcome to Rose Does Business Basics. Each week there will be topics relating to small business where you, whether you're a startup or have been in business for a while and just need a guiding hand or an information update. This week I will be discussing how to create effective PowerPoint presentations. Please feel free to leave your feedback at any time, as this will help me make improvements as I go along. And if you stay till the end, I have a gift for you. So let's get started. So before we get started, sorry, I pressed the wrong button again as usual. There'll be an opportunity for a question and answer at the end, and that will go for about 5 minutes. So if I don't see your question in the feed, then I shall answer it after the broadcast is finished. So yeah, let's go. So how to make an effective PowerPoint presentation. Did you know that there is a science behind effective PowerPoint presentations? So why are some PowerPoint presentations described as being highly engaging and others infamously referred to as death by PowerPoint? The methodology you adopt when utilising PowerPoint is vital because your PowerPoint presentation will shape how your content is received. PowerPoint is an important tool that, when used correctly, has been scientifically proven to increase the persuasiveness of your message. Yet the problem lies in the fact that rarely is PowerPoint used properly. The first principle is the human brain has limited cognitive abilities. Research has confirmed that the human brain has the mental capacity to process only a limited amount of information at any given time. In fact, there is a general consensus within the scientific community that after the brain's threshold is surpassed, its capacity to grasp information, it severely diminishes. My God, I've got to put my teeth back in. The typical PowerPoint presentation contains nearly 40 words per slide. The wordiness of most PowerPoint slides actually thwarts its persuasive impact and produces a dangerous mix of boredom and confusion in those who are subjected to it. The reason that most PowerPoint slides are unnecessarily complex and exhibit an irresponsible dependence on text is because most presenters use PowerPoint as their presentation notes. Frequently, PowerPoint slides are even read by the presenter to the audience during the presentation. In contrast to this naive and detrimental approach, PowerPoint slides should always be designed for the purpose of enriching the audience's understanding of the content being communicated. In short, due to the fact that the brain can only process a small amount of information at once, keep your PowerPoint slides uncomplicated and use text sparingly. And the second scientific principle is the picture superiority effect. The second principle that can transform a PowerPoint presentation from dull and bewildering to engaging and memorable is known as the picture superiority effect. This is the scientific construct that describes how the human brain thinks in terms of pictures, and therefore pictures are more easily understood and remembered than words. Consequently, when creating PowerPoint slides, incorporate pictures to visually demonstrate what you are verbally stating. And this this broadcast will go into that a little bit further. So the best PowerPoint presentations shouldn't be remembered. So what does stand out as a distinctive, however, is a bad PowerPoint presentation. Whether it's a million lines of text, a disjointed flow, ugly photos, or poor design, bad PowerPoints distract from the overall message you're trying to get across, while also undermining your own credibility as a professional or speaker. So what makes it effective? So it's knowing how to use your PowerPoint, and more important is making a good presentation that hits all of your goals as well as delivering it effectively. So as I said before, you don't want to detract from your message by having ugly pictures and too much text. I can't even get that word right out tonight. Text on your slide. So here are some steps you need to do. So you need to be prepared to win. Researched, planned and prepared professionally so you can deliver the right message to your target audience effectively. Number 2, with points that are illustrated and visually stand out without overwhelming your audience or unnecessarily complicating your message. And rehearsed and timed so your points land as practiced with your live audience. Deliver with poise. Presented with a relaxed inner and confident outward projection while communicating warmth, excitement and energy. And make sure that it's free from mistakes. It's got to be devoid of cheesy clip art, nonsensical flashiness, miscues like reading directly from prompters and other easy to avoid problems. Consider this as your all-inclusive guide. We'll look at preparing your presentation, how to design it in PowerPoint, as well as how to practice and nail your delivery successfully come presentation time. We'll also address what not to do in these tips for PowerPoint presentation so you can sidestep any big mistakes. So, preparation tips. Know your stuff. Before even opening PowerPoint, start by addressing these things. These PowerPoint tips will ensure that you're fully prepared for your presentation. Your presentation isn't about your slides alone. It's about the message you want to get across. Before filling in the stats, the facts and the figures, think about the narrative that will be discussed, why and in what order. Write out. Start on a Word or Google Doc and storyboard or script the entire presentation to give you an idea of how the information presented will flow and how viewers will see it in sequence. A presentation covers the most crucial pieces only. Whatever you've been working on that leads to this, a paper, a work project, a new project design, doesn't need to be shared in its entirety. Pick key points and put the rest in an appendix to refer to during the question and answer session at the end. Know your audience. This is quite important. How you talk to a room full of medical professions should be different from the way you address a room full of young entrepreneurs. Everything, in fact, is different. Your topic selection, the language you use, the examples you give to illustrate points, and the little bits of humour included should be tailored specifically with your target audience in mind. Knowing your audience really well, their fears, wants and desires, is the first step towards making a PowerPoint presentation that persuades them entirely. And rehearse. Yes, keep rehearsing. It's never too early to get used to the rhythm of your presentation and take note of points you want to emphasize. While saying it out loud, you'll start to develop a feel for the material and notice that sometimes things work well and things don't. So you might forget something, you might add something. So this is the time to get those workarounds done. So this is now designing your presentation better. Second only to you, the information you bring and how you present it is your PowerPoint slides. If not designed well, a PowerPoint can be disengaging or distracting, regardless of the content quality. Here are some presentation design tips to make sure this doesn't happen to you. Keep your slides simple. This is one of the most important PowerPoint presentation tips to follow when designing your slides. Keep in mind that less is more. It means it makes your presentation more effective. A cluttered slide is distracting. It causes confusion for the audience. Which part of the slide should they focus on? Should they read the slide or pay attention to the presenter? On the other hand, a simple, visual, appealing slide will engage the audience, keeping them on track with your points. Limit the words on your slides. So piggybacking on the last point, less is more effective. If possible, avoid bullets altogether. Otherwise, minimize them to just a few simple words. The audience should be listening, not reading. Use high quality photos and graphics. One of the most important tips for PowerPoint presentations is to be sure that that you use high quality photos and graphics. People are more likely to take you seriously if your presentation is visually appealing. Users view attractive design as more usable. Similarly, they'll view a more attractive PowerPoint as more effective. Use accurate and relevant charts and graphs. Charts and graphs can also be distracting if they're not used right. Make sure your information design is simple and clean so that the audience doesn't spend the entire time trying to decipher what your x-axis says. And use high quality fresh templates. Have you seen the old PowerPoint template that looks like worn paper and uses ink splashes? They're a no-no. Yep, so has your audience. They've seen them as well. Templates can be distracting if they're too basic or if the design feels dated. You need one with great design options. Fonts are an important part of engaging your audience. Fonts and typography choices have a subconscious effect on viewers, causing them to characterize your company's presentation and brand either positively or negatively. Make sure that you're choosing fonts that are professional and modern. Similar to font choice, colors cause specific subconscious reactions from viewers. Choosing an outdated color combination for your presentation will render it ineffective. And the same is using the formatting. Make sure that you focus on is on you and your message and not on the slides. Oh, this is my bugbear because I've got a bit of OCD, unaligned objects in PowerPoints. They look horrible. So make sure that they're always aligned. A simple way to create a well-designed presentation is to make sure all items on a slide are intentionally aligned. And there's some hints and tips on how to do that. And then limit punctuation. This isn't the place for exclamation points. You emphasize your points while you're speaking, not by putting them on your slide. Don't use punctuation to do this. Leave these at home, please. And avoid over formatting your points. There is no need to have every word of every bullet point capitalized or to have all your bullet points in title case. If possible, drop bullets altogether. Again, the simpler the better to engage your audience. Delivery is possibly more important than the actual content. Here's how to become more aware of your own unique tics and how to present like a polished pro. Rehearse. Very important. It was brought up before, and do it again. Just do it again and again until you get it right. Experiment with pauses, gestures and body language. You should practice around 1 hour for every minute of your speech. Practice with a timer. Consistency is key to an effective PowerPoint presentation. Timing should be similar, ideally the same each time you rehearse. Slow down. Many of the best speakers today intentionally speak slowly. You'll have the chance to emphasize, appear more thoughtful, and make your information easier to digest. Consider this. Are your pauses too short or too long? Are you speaking slowly enough or are you speaking too slow? When you're nervous, does your voice get really high like the mice in Cinderella? It's always weird to hear your own voice recorded. Don't stress this. Use this as a time adjuster. Pause more often. Similar to the prior tip, pause more often allows main points to be emphasized and for information to sink in. You need to let your key points breathe a little before rushing into the next section. Record yourself. Use your phone's voice recorder. Assess and critique yourself. And choose 3 vocal points in the room. If you stare at the same spot, or even creepier than the same person, the entire time, your presentation will be ineffective and awkward. I mean, you can imagine staring at someone throughout the whole presentation, and they'll think, oh my God, well, why are they staring at me? People will be distracted and wondering why you're staring at them. Try this. Pick 3 points in the room, typically left, center, and right, and take time to direct your delivery towards each physical focal point in the room. Also, focus on the center when making your primary points. Vary your sentence length. This makes you sound more interesting and it's easier for your audience to follow. Think short and punchy, or go long and complex for dramatic effect. Don't speak in monotone for your entire presentation. Be conscious to raise and lower your voice tone. Otherwise, people will tune you out and you'll come across like the teacher in Charlie Brown. And practice. Again, practice and rehearse. Practice in front of the mirror. What you look like is just as important as how you sound. Pretend as though you're just having a normal conversation and allow your hands to move with your speech. Emphasizing your points. Just don't get carried away. So don't, go around like the drunken sailor. Use the present mode when rehearsing. When you finally are ready to hit the present button in PowerPoint, make sure you use the present mode option. This allows you, and only you, to review additional notes about each slide, just in case you forgot something. And practice with a new audience. If possible, try doing a few real live test runs as a webinar, or even at a local Toastmasters organisation to get some feedback from a live audience. So now it's time to step up and deliver come presentation time. So when the actual day arrives, there is only a few last preparation tips to keep in mind. Take a deep breath. Deep breathing is proven to relieve stress. It's simple, it'll help you remain calm and in the moment as well, even up to the last minute before starting. Tell yourself a joke or watch a funny video clip. Do this before the presentation, of course. Recent research concludes that happy people were more productive. More productive is more focused and able to perform better. When you're stressed or nervous or both, we tend to speak faster. Consciously take yet another deep breath and remind yourself to take it slow. And then fake it till you make it. Go forward with confidence, people. If you act confident, you'll start to feel more confident. Move slowly with grace, speak clearly, smile, say something nice, and you'll appear confident to all attendees, no matter how you're feeling inside. And what not to do. Most importantly, focus on what you can do to make your presentation better. That being said, there are a few important things not to do that we've got to address. Here are a handful. Stop with the sound effects. Sound effects like that swoosh that used to happen when your college professor brought up a new bullet point in PowerPoint is distracting and outdated. You can, however, add audio or music into your presentation to interject interest or highlight an important point, but it's something to take extra care with. If you insert audio, then make sure your use really connects with your audience and has a fresh approach. Otherwise, it is best to leave it out. Don't use flashy slide transitions. I mean, I'm so guilty of that. I love them when they go up and down and across, but that's just me. Again, this is distracting and outdated. You can use transitions and subtle animations in your PowerPoint presentations, but you need to take care to do it right. And beware of the clip art. Do not use the clip art that's in Word or any of the Microsoft, if you're going to use clip art, get it from a reputable site. It's better off that you use a good quality graphic than a clip art. Don't read directly from your notes. Always use note cards. And if you spend your entire presentation looking at the screen or your audience, then they'll disengage from what you're saying and your presentation will fall flat. So don't read from your PowerPoint presentation either. So to level up your skills, knowing these presentation tips can build confidence in your next presentation and deliver a great showcase to your audience. Use the visual guides. When you're designing your next PowerPoint presentation, it helps to create a sense of visual rhythm. Slides that have objects appropriately aligned and centered are naturally more likely to resonate with your audience. Use a few animations tastefully. Add a video to your PowerPoint. It'll break the PowerPoint up. It'll give some more focus to your topic, and it's easy that you can embed a YouTube video into PowerPoint. Charts and graphs can help you tell the story with data, but it's easy for people to zone out when they're boring, because really they didn't go there to get a lesson in statistics. Build your infographics with smart art, and it's quite easy to do, and there's heaps of tutorials on how to use that. And use presenter view. Remember that when you use PowerPoint, you're the presenter, you're the presentation itself, and the slides are only there as an accompaniment to your presentation. So always use presenter view. More often than not, you're going to have multiple displays that show the information that's relevant to you on your private screen, with your presentation showing on the additional display. And that's it for tonight, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. That was how to make an effective PowerPoint presentation. If you would like to know any more, you can catch the replay in Rose Does Business Basics Facebook group, and the group is for anyone who wants to learn how they can grow their business and their profits, whether they are a sole trader or employ staff, using the content that is included in the unit section. Next week I'll be discussing how to promote innovation and change in the workplace. And are there any questions? Oh, before I go, I forgot to mention the freebie that's available. Oh, excuse me for looking away. I'm trying to get the thing up. I don't know whether it is. Anyway, I'll pop the link to the freebie in the comment section when I'm done. And yeah, grab your 5 easy ways to make your power presentation pop. So you just need to click on that link, and you'll get it via email. And I can't see that there's anyone asking any questions, so I'll say goodnight for this week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. My name's Rose Davidson of doesbiz.com, and thank you for joining me.